Hello and welcome. So in this video, we're going to solve the challenge of background noises that you experience in your videos or your audios while recording. And so sometimes we get to receive or watch videos, promotional videos that talks about get a good mic, get a good mics that has this noise background remover, which is cool. And so after using them, sometimes you notice that you have some lot of background in sound and behind the scene. And so the sound will still enter the mic in one way or the other. But just that these new mics, the wireless mic, even some of the wired mic, especially the mic, still does a lot of jobs of making sounds unidirectional, and which also filters some backgrounds away from your sound from your videos. And so, but can't really remove it completely, which is a true fact. So there'll still be some residue of some background sound in even as you transmit signals from your sound as well. Like you getting close to your mic, or maybe you got a call, or you got a ring, or you got anything that causes sound while you're recording your video or you're trying to give a presentation. So it happens and occurs like that. So I'm going to show you a good way for you to easily remove such sounds in case you experience them. And so that's why some of my videos back then, you could see that I paused for a while creating these videos, and so that I can get the exact sound I want to really remove. So you can remove that with this tool I'm going to show you. So for easy access in what I teach is that I use some tools that are familiar with everyone. But although I use some complex tools which I use personally, I don't really want to talk about them because teaching them will be so hard on everyone to easily learn and go through, especially from the fact that we need complex computing. Most times I teach with Windows. That doesn't mean that I don't have Linux. That doesn't mean that I don't use Mac, but I teach more with Windows because that's what most of my audience have and they get to use. So I want my content to be simple to everyone. So it may not really be for everyone, but it should be simple for everyone. So I use Audacity and I use Filmora. I'm using Filmora 11. So I'll drop the app link so that you can download and use for yours. But I use 11. I will recommend you use older versions because of licensing. So but if you have the good licensing or you could license it, then go ahead with the recent version. Then depending on your speed, your system, your graphics design, your dedicated ID, so it's good to use. If you are using an old system, it's good for you to use the older versions. If you're using the upgraded system or the latest system unit, you can use the recent version. So it makes your work easier that way, so that you don't get to say, I tried to install this app, but this didn't work. So I'll just dive into what I need to talk about and share my content today. So Audacity and Filmora. So on my Filmora right here, I've opened my file. And so I have a recorded video which I'm going to use here. So this video is going to be having some sounds. It's going to pick up some sounds. So, but I don't want those sounds to be on my video. So I'm going to show you how to easily edit it. So you just drag. So you choose match to media, depends on what you want as your project setting. And so I will play it. Should I play it a little? No. So you get to hear the content. And so you can see that I always pause my video for a while. And so I pause so that I can get my background sound so I know what I'm cutting off. So then later you can hear me speak on my content. So that's what I do. So that's where my voice comes up. And so it's good to note that it's also best you practice this content creation in a good place, that is wherever you get to teach others, You create it in a good environment, an environment where there's no club, there's no noisy place, no noisy place for noise pollution, so that you could minimize the sound that comes to your videos or to your audio. So it's good you record in a quiet place. Some persons give recommendations of you using your bed sheets to cover yourself while recording, but what if you're using a PC? So it's good to have, like, you can have a room that is like studios that we have today. So it's soundproof, but if you don't have all of that, you could manage your resources and create videos from an environment even that still has a little sound, just like the one you just watch now. You can hear some kind of sounds. So but I'm going to remove that completely. And also the purpose is to enhance your audios. Like there's a saying that almost 100%, should I say 100% or 90% of the persons that record themselves don't love to listen to themselves while they record their voice. So you could enhance your voice, you could make it better, you could make it like a cinematic mode, better mode, so that your audience can enjoy what they are listening to. And trust me, if a video has some bad graphics, or maybe it has some bad video content, which is part of it, viewers will not like to go through it. But if it's having a bad audio, that's going to be way off, 100% off. They could even delete the video, delete your recording, or delete your audio, or they may not want to even come back to listen to whatever you have to say. So it's good you pay close attention to audio, which is quite important. And so you could buy expensive mics, you could buy cheap mics, but you find out that you will still end up having to edit most of your content before you publish them. So irrespective of device or tools you buy or get, whether small, cheap, medium, intermediate, you still need to edit them, most of them. And so any class you find yourself, just make use of what you have and give it your best. And so the tool, now what I've done, I've exported this, I brought the video here. So it can be audio, it can be video. So what I'll just do is you can increase the sound if you want to increase it by dragging up from here. So I'll just export to MP3, export to device. I'll switch to MP3 and I will just call it experiments audio enhancements, and yeah, I'll just leave it simple. So I'll change my directory and actually put my audios in this file, so it makes my work easier. So I'm exporting to MP3, so I will export the video. So if it's short video, it export faster. If it's longer video, it exports later. So I'll open my Audacity. So take note that this is not a full video on Audacity, so this is just a short video on it. So you could learn more or do more with Audacity, but this is just a simple way you could scale through. And so I'll look for the experiment video, I'll open it, and so this is how it goes. So because there was some background sound, so you can see some chart of audios, so you know that there's an audio here, there's an audio here, but here is blank. So most times I always talk blank. So this is where I started speaking. So what you need to do is highlight an area. So you need to highlight an area for the background sound. So if there's a constant background sound in your area, so this is the area you get to pick off. So you click on effects, then you click on noise reduction. So you click on get noise profile. So after you've done that, you click on Ctrl A to highlight all. You click on effects, you click on noise remover again, and noise reduction. This time you click OK. And so you can see that it has removed some sound, and so the chart became smaller. Then you click on effect again. So I would like to say something here on this noise reduction. So the first time I click on noise, get noise profile. So the next time you don't click on get noise profile anymore. So, but there are some settings that I have here on default. So you can use mine. You could tweak yours. You could, if your noise behind the scene is so much, then you can increase this noise reduction level. Or most times this fits what I'm always recording. So this became a default for me. So if it's lower, you can reduce yours to become lower. So then most times you just click OK, but this is the setting I use basically. So click on the setting and test and see what works for you the best. Then I'll click on effect again and click on EQ and filter curve EQ. So most times I leave mine in -3 dB, so you can drag it to any area you want to be. So I always leave mine here. So I can drag mine to where I want it to be. So I'll come over it again. So this is the line I leave mine. So just drag yours to where you want it to be, -3 dB. Then I click apply. And it's going to apply it to the sound. Then I can export here, save. I click OK. If you don't want this pop-up, you can off it. Then I save my content. Save. So now I can close this Audacity. Then I'm back here. So what I just need to do is import the audio. And so I'll scroll down. So I'll just right click, then I'll click on delete this because I copied it twice. So this is the sound. Then what I usually do is to remove my video sound. So normally it was high, so I have to off my video sound, or just double click on the video. Click on audio so you could change your settings here. So but just drag it easily, drag the sound down. Then this sound is okay. So I click on this. I usually change mine from default to techno. So I click OK. And so if I should play this, you find out that most of the sounds are gone.
So then we began making all this.
And so that settles how to remove the sound and how to enhance your sounds. So I've removed the background sound, which was there. And so I changed the equalizer to techno so you could play around with the pitch. So I don't really use the background remover tool on Filmora. So Audacity has more resources on doing that to remove some background noise and to also enhance your voice. So I use techno and I click OK. So then I export the video. So take note that by default sometimes it always be here, so I always change to local, this time MP4. Then I just put my experiment video. Then I change my directory. I choose these. Most times I change my settings to best. Then I click export. And I'm done. So this is basically how I put my videos. So even if I've created my video in a noisy environment, I could get to remove the sound and upload them in best audio quality. So stay creative and watch out for my next video. Thank you.